What if I told you that lowering your blood sugar, controlling hunger, and even protecting your nerves could all be done with something so ordinary? You probably spread it on toast without even thinking. For years, diabetics have been told to avoid creamy spreads because of fat or calories, but science now reveals a shocking truth. Certain nut and seed butters don't raise blood sugar. They actually help flatten glucose spikes, repair insulin resistance, and keep cravings under control for hours. Imagine a spoonful that supports your heart, calms inflammation, and even helps you sleep better at night. These aren't fancy supplements or expensive superfoods. They're simple, affordable, everyday spreads hiding in plain sight. In this video, I'll show you the top 3 butters every diabetic should know, when to eat them, and one mistake to avoid. Because once you learn their healing power, you'll never see nut butter the same way again. First on the list, hazelnut butter. Hazelnut butter might sound like a luxurious dessert ingredient, but for someone managing type 2 diabetes, this rich and velvety spread can be a surprising tool for metabolic repair. Made from roasted or raw hazelnuts, this butter is naturally creamy, slightly sweet, and loaded with nutrients that go far beyond flavor. Hazelnut butter delivers rare antioxidants, critical minerals, and healthy fats that work together to reduce oxidative stress, support insulin signaling, calm inflamed nerves, and protect the heart, all from a single spoonful. What makes it even more unique? Its unusually high vitamin E content and polyphenols that help diabetic cells resist the damage caused by glucose spikes and insulin resistance. Let's start with the numbers. 2 tablespoons of hazelnut butter, about 32 grams, contain around 200 calories, 19 grams of fat, 4 grams of protein, and 6 grams of carbohydrates, including 2 grams of fiber, which brings the net carbs down to just 4 grams. The glycemic index of hazelnuts is very low, around 15, and their glycemic load per serving is below 1, making hazelnut butter an excellent choice for blood sugar stability. What makes this butter especially unique is the type of fat it provides. Over 80% of the fat in hazelnuts is monounsaturated, similar to olive oil, which has been proven to improve insulin sensitivity, reduce LDL cholesterol, and lower post-meal glucose response. It's not just safe for diabetics, it actively improves how the body handles sugar. Hazelnut butter is one of the best food sources of vitamin E with about 6.5 milligrams per 2 tablespoons, which is 43% of the daily value. Vitamin E is not just a skin vitamin, it's a powerful antioxidant that protects nerve cells, strengthens the retina, and prevents oxidative damage to insulin receptors. For people with diabetes who experience early signs of nerve pain, blurred vision, or fatigue after meals, vitamin E can be a game changer, and hazelnut butter delivers it in a creamy, absorbable form that's far superior to pills. It also contains manganese, about 1.4 milligrams per serving, or 60% of the daily value, which supports enzyme activity in the pancreas and helps metabolize both glucose and cholesterol. But what truly sets hazelnut butter apart is its high level of proanthocyanidins, a group of polyphenols also found in dark chocolate and red wine. These compounds are known to protect blood vessels, lower inflammatory cytokines, and enhance nitric oxide production, which improves blood flow to the limbs and vital organs. For diabetics, this means better circulation, reduced risk of neuropathy, and even improved sexual function. In fact, one study showed that diets high in hazelnut-based polyphenols resulted in up to 18% improvement in endothelial function, a major marker for cardiovascular health in diabetics. And here's where hazelnut butter becomes a full-spectrum healer. Its high fat and antioxidant content helps suppress appetite, reduce emotional cravings, and stabilize energy levels. It encourages the release of leptin, the hormone that signals satiety, while calming ghrelin, the hunger hormone that often spikes in insulin-resistant individuals. That's why many people who integrate hazelnut butter into their routine find themselves snacking less, sleeping better, and even noticing improved mood and mental clarity over time. Here's a fun fact. Hazelnuts are one of the few nuts traditionally grown alongside grapevines in Mediterranean regions, suggesting that early farmers instinctively knew the value of pairing polyphenol-rich crops for cardiovascular and metabolic health. In some parts of Italy, Hazelnuts were once considered a fertility food, used to support hormonal strength and vitality in both men and women. That ancient wisdom is now backed by science. A common myth is that hazelnut butter is too sweet or too similar to chocolate spreads like Nutella. But this couldn't be further from the truth. Pure hazelnut butter contains no added sugar and has a naturally mild, nutty sweet taste. The problem arises when manufacturers add cane sugar, milk powders, or hydrogenated oils. Always check the label. Real hazelnut butter should have just one or two ingredients: hazelnuts and salt. Skip anything that includes cocoa, emulsifiers, or sweeteners. Helpful pro tip: for a diabetic-friendly breakfast or pre-bedtime snack, blend 1 tablespoon of hazelnut butter into a warm cup of unsweetened almond milk with a pinch of cinnamon. This drink not only supports stable blood sugar overnight, it also delivers calming nutrients that help relax nerves, reduce cortisol, and improve insulin sensitivity by morning. Another option? Spread hazelnut butter on half a green pear. The fiber in the pear slows sugar absorption, while the fat and antioxidants from the butter help reduce the overall glycemic load of the snack. Here's one thing to watch out for. Hazelnut butter is calorie-dense, with about 100 calories per tablespoon. It's best to stick to 1 to 2 tablespoons per day and store it in the refrigerator once opened to preserve its delicate oils and prevent rancidity. Also, hazelnuts are naturally higher in oxalates than almonds or peanuts, so if you have a history of kidney stones, it's worth speaking with a healthcare provider before making it a daily habit. At around $9 to $11 per jar in the US, hazelnut butter is on the premium end of the spectrum, but it earns its price with nutrient density, therapeutic antioxidants, and metabolic impact. It's not just a delicious indulgence, it's functional food for the diabetic body. So while hazelnut butter may have started as a gourmet ingredient, it now stands as a functional fat with real science behind it. From insulin control to nerve healing and heart protection, this ancient nut offers creamy, crave-worthy comfort with metabolic muscle. But the next butter on our list takes things even further, with nutrients that directly power blood flow, lower A1C, and restore fertility in both men and women. Before we move on to the next creamy powerhouse, I'd love to know, where are you watching from today? Drop your city or country in the comments below. Second on the list, pistachio butter. Pistachio butter may not be as common on grocery shelves as peanut or almond butter, but for diabetics, it's one of the most powerful and underrated metabolic allies. With its naturally sweet flavor, vibrant green hue, and dense package of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, pistachio butter works like a multi-system healer. It not only helps regulate blood sugar and reduce post-meal spikes, it also repairs nerve damage, supports vascular flexibility, enhances insulin sensitivity, and boosts fertility in both men and women. And thanks to its high content of amino acids like arginine, pistachio butter even improves blood flow to the brain, kidneys, and lower body. A critical benefit for anyone dealing with diabetic complications. Let's begin with the core nutrition. 2 tablespoons of pistachio butter, about 32 grams, contain approximately 180 to 190 calories, 15 grams of fat, 6 grams of protein, and 8 grams of carbohydrates, including 3 grams of fiber, bringing the net carbs down to just 5 grams. Pistachios themselves have a glycemic index of about 15, and the glycemic load of pistachio butter per serving is around 2 to 3, well within the range of blood sugar-friendly foods. What makes this butter stand out isn't just its low glycemic impact, it's the nutrient synergy it provides with every spoonful. Pistachio butter is rich in vitamin B6, providing about 0.4 milligrams per 2 tablespoons, or 24% of the daily value. This underrated B vitamin plays a central role in glucose metabolism, nerve health, and neurotransmitter function. Diabetics low in B6 often experience fatigue, irritability, and nerve tingling, and pistachio butter helps correct that from the inside out. Even more impressive, pistachio butter delivers arginine, an amino acid that converts into nitric oxide, which relaxes blood vessels and improves circulation. This supports better glucose delivery to muscle tissue, reduces blood pressure, and can even improve erectile function in men with type 2 diabetes-related vascular issues. Pistachio butter is also a mineral powerhouse. Each 2 tablespoon serving contains about 290 milligrams of potassium, 6% of the daily value, 35 milligrams of magnesium, 8% of the daily value, and zero point 0.8 milligrams of iron, 4% of the daily value. Potassium is crucial for blood pressure and kidney balance. Magnesium improves insulin receptor sensitivity, and iron helps oxygenate cells and fight fatigue. This combination helps combat 3 of the most common diabetic complaints: poor energy, poor circulation, and poor glycemic control. It's one of the few spreads that provides both taste and therapeutic action at the same time. Here's something most people don't know. Pistachios are one of the only nuts that contain significant amounts of lutein and zeaxanthin, antioxidants that protect the retina from diabetic retinopathy. That means pistachio butter isn't just a metabolic aid, it's also an eye protector. It also contains gamma-tocopherol, a unique form of vitamin E that goes beyond standard antioxidant effects and actively reduces inflammation in blood vessels and organs. This can directly benefit people dealing with diabetic kidney disease, early neuropathy, or elevated C-reactive protein. And when it comes to satiety, pistachio butter performs beautifully. It slows digestion, reduces the glycemic load of other foods, and increases post-meal levels of GLP-1, a gut-derived hormone that promotes fullness, enhances insulin production, and slows gastric emptying. This natural GLP-1 activation makes pistachio butter a strategic addition for those who want to reduce hunger, eat less, and improve blood sugar rhythm without relying on medications. It also reduces ghrelin, the hunger hormone, which is often elevated in insulin-resistant individuals. Here's a fun fact. Pistachios were once considered a symbol of royalty in ancient Persia. Today, science is showing that they also act like royalty inside the body, particularly in how they improve lipid profiles, insulin response, and vascular health. One study found that including pistachios daily for 12 weeks improved insulin sensitivity by up to 30%, reduced LDL cholesterol by 15%, and lowered systolic blood pressure in adults with prediabetes and type 2 diabetes. The participants didn't even change their overall calorie intake, just their fat quality. One myth is that pistachio butter is too high in fat for people with diabetes or weight issues. But the truth is, over 60% of the fat in pistachio butter is monounsaturated, the same heart-healthy fat found in olive oil and avocado. This fat helps reduce inflammation, increase HDL good cholesterol, and stabilize energy levels throughout the day. When eaten in small, controlled portions, pistachio butter can help manage hunger and prevent the blood sugar roller coaster that leads to fatigue, irritability, and poor insulin control. Helpful tip: enjoy pistachio butter as an afternoon snack to smooth out your energy levels and prevent pre-dinner sugar cravings. Spread 1 tablespoon on thin apple slices or mix it with a spoonful of plain Greek yogurt and a dash of turmeric for an anti-inflammatory, blood sugar-friendly dip. This combo delivers protein, fiber, and healthy fats that together buffer the glycemic response and provide minerals to support nerve healing and heart protection. Here's something to keep in mind. Pistachio butter, like many artisanal nut butters, can be pricey, typically around $10 to $14 per jar in USC specialty stores or online. Also, it's not always easy to find pure pistachio butter without added oils or sugars, so read labels carefully. Look for brands that list only one ingredient, pistachios, and avoid those with canola oil, palm oil, or sweeteners. A gentle heads up. Because pistachios are naturally higher in FODMAPs, a group of fermentable carbohydrates, some people with irritable bowel symptoms may want to start with small portions to test tolerance. But for most people, especially those managing type 2 diabetes, pistachio butter is a gentle, digestible, and extremely healing food when consumed in proper amounts. So pistachio butter isn't just an exotic alternative, it's a therapeutic powerhouse. With its potent blend of nutrients, antioxidants, and appetite-regulating compounds, it deserves a place on the diabetic table, not just for taste, but for the science behind its healing impact. But now let's explore one more butter that breaks the mold completely. A dark green seed butter that offers sleep support, nerve healing, and blood sugar balance like no other. Third on the list, pumpkin seed butter. Pumpkin seed butter, with its rich emerald green color and earthy taste, is far more than a seasonal trend or plant-based alternative. For diabetics, it functions like nutritional medicine, quietly repairing nerve endings, supporting insulin signaling, restoring sleep cycles, and protecting the kidneys and prostate from inflammatory damage. Unlike many nut butters, pumpkin seed butter is made from whole green pepitas, which are cold-pressed or stone-ground into a creamy spread packed with zinc, magnesium, tryptophan, and heart-healing unsaturated fats. This unique nutrient blend gives it powerful anti-diabetic properties, especially when used consistently in small portions. Let's begin with the breakdown. 2 tablespoons of pumpkin seed butter, about 32 grams, provide roughly 180 calories, 16 grams of fat, 8 grams of protein, and 4 grams of total carbohydrates with 2 grams of fiber. That brings the net carb count to only 2 grams, making it one of the lowest glycemic spread options available. The glycemic index of pumpkin seeds is estimated to be around 10 to 15, and the glycemic load is well under 1. That's remarkably low for a food this satisfying, and it means pumpkin seed butter won't spike blood sugar and can actually help reduce the glycemic impact of other foods when eaten in combination. But it's the mineral profile that really makes this butter shine. Just 2 tablespoons deliver about 150 milligrams of magnesium, or 35% of the daily value, one of the highest among all plant-based spreads. Magnesium is essential for over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, including those involved in insulin sensitivity, nerve transmission, and blood pressure regulation. Most diabetics are deficient in this mineral, and without enough of it, blood sugar remains high and insulin receptors remain sluggish. By replenishing magnesium naturally through pumpkin seed butter, you're enhancing glucose uptake, reducing nighttime leg cramps, and improving nerve health, all at once. Pumpkin seed butter is also incredibly rich in zinc, providing about 2.5 milligrams per 2 tablespoons, or 23% of the daily value. Zinc is crucial for insulin production in the pancreas, wound healing, immune balance, and reproductive hormone regulation. For men, this means better testosterone balance and prostate protection. For women, it supports progesterone, thyroid regulation, and menstrual regularity, often disrupted in insulin-resistant states. Research has shown that consistent dietary zinc intake can lower A1C by up to 12% over 12 weeks, especially when paired with magnesium. And here's a rare addition. Pumpkin seed butter contains tryptophan, a naturally occurring amino acid that converts to serotonin and then melatonin inside the body. This means pumpkin seed butter doesn't just stabilize blood sugar, it supports better sleep. For diabetics dealing with nighttime urination, stress-related glucose surges, or cortisol-driven hunger, improving melatonin levels can help restore a more balanced circadian rhythm and deeper overnight recovery. This is one reason pumpkin seed butter works especially well as a nighttime snack or pre-bed stabilizer. Pumpkin seed butter also provides iron, phosphorus, manganese, and plant sterols, compounds that lower LDL cholesterol and reduce inflammation in blood vessels. With about 8 grams of protein per 2 tablespoons, it rivals even peanut butter in satiety and muscle repair support. The fat profile is equally impressive. It contains both monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, which help increase HDL, reduce triglycerides, and improve endothelial function, the lining of blood vessels that often becomes damaged in long-term diabetes. Here's a fun fact. Pumpkin seeds were used by Native American tribes not just for food, but as medicine, for treating bladder issues, kidney disorders, and parasitic infections. Modern science confirms these traditional uses. The compounds in pumpkin seeds, including cucurbitacins, have anti-inflammatory effects on the urinary tract, making pumpkin seed butter especially helpful for those dealing with nocturia, prostate swelling, or overactive bladder, which often coexist with type 2 diabetes. A common myth is that pumpkin seed butter is too exotic or too bitter for daily use. But the truth is, when made from hulled, roasted green pepitas, Pumpkin seed butter has a smooth, creamy texture with a nutty, slightly sweet flavor, perfect for pairing with diabetic-friendly snacks. The bitterness usually comes from poorly processed seeds or unhulled varieties. Always look for pumpkin seed butter that contains only one or two ingredients, pumpkin seeds and maybe a pinch of salt. Nothing more. Helpful tip: use 1 tablespoon of pumpkin seed butter as a nighttime snack by spreading it on thin cucumber slices or blending it into warm unsweetened almond milk with a pinch of cinnamon and a few chia seeds. This combination delivers stable energy, sleep-regulating amino acids, and minerals that nourish your nervous system and protect kidney function. It's a simple calming ritual that supports deeper rest and lower morning glucose levels. Here's one gentle note. Pumpkin seed butter is often more expensive than common nut butters, ranging from $9 to $12 per jar in U.S. markets. And because it has a high unsaturated fat content, it's best stored in the refrigerator after opening to preserve freshness. Its earthy flavor can be strong for some, so consider combining it with mild ingredients like coconut yogurt or oat bran if you're easing into it. One natural caution: if you have low blood pressure or are taking diuretics or magnesium supplements, start slowly with pumpkin seed butter. It may amplify these effects. Also, due to its dense mineral content, stick to 1 to 2 tablespoons per day and avoid pairing it with other high-zinc foods like oysters or fortified cereals unless guided by your doctor. At the end of the day, pumpkin seed butter is more than just a plant-based alternative. It's a therapeutic tool. With its rare mineral density, sleep-regulating amino acids, and bladder-supporting compounds, it delivers targeted support to the organs most vulnerable in diabetes: kidneys, nerves, blood vessels, and pancreas. It's not just creamy and green, it's a symbol of renewal for anyone on a diabetic healing journey. If this video helped you, give it a like and share it with someone managing diabetes. And don't forget to subscribe for more science-backed nutrition that actually works. Your next breakthrough could be one video away.